of the West? That's another question we could have. But we're rolling halfway through the show, Sammy. And what's your main takeaway so far today?
My main takeaway is that, oh man, Buddy Hield, man, if he's in the starting lineup, the Warriors are going to go places. Will those places be good places? I don't know, but they will be places. Listen, I mean, like, I think, again, the biggest, have the Warriors upgraded, or has the rest of or has their competitors in the West downgraded enough that that's how the Warriors will climb over them? So look at the 4 teams ahead of them in the West right now. You got the 9-seeded Kings, who, you know, they haven't done a whole lot. They've kind of re-upped with their team. Reportedly,
talks have been increasing with them and New Orleans about Brandon Ingram. So we'll wait and see on that one.
That'll be an interesting piece there. Yeah. We'll have to check in with our Kings insider, Alan Stiles, on that one.
There you go. Or Anthony Slater.
Yeah. Or Kyle Madsen. You know, Madsen's the big tapped in with
Mad
the Kings.
City, him and James Hand, get after it.
They are.
ESPN 1320.
He is crushing it up there. So good for Kyle Madsen. I'm happy. Former producer here with Willard and Dibbs once upon a time at 95.7 The Game. We both worked with Kyle a lot. I miss working with Kyle.
Yeah.
It was always a fun day with Kyle.
Love Kyle.
And of course the Pelicans right above them. We're going to see what they do with Brandon Ingram and what their future's like. Obviously, they got their big centerpiece in Zion, and then they got McCollum in there as well. But again, I'm not really sure if the Pelicans have made any significant moves to upgrade their standing either. And they kind of faded. They were they the 1 seed in the West at one point early last year?
They might have been early.
There was a point, like a quarter, like it was late enough into the year where you're just like, what? Wait a minute, or like. I mean, like when the season starts, like the first couple weeks of the season, it's just like, you know, sometimes it was like a random team is at the 2nd seed or something like that, and then they end up regressing back to where they belong. But this was like deep enough into the year where it's just like, wow, it's like December and the Pelicans are at the top of the West. What's going on here?
They were 49-33 last year. That's 16 games over 500. Yeah. Shout out math. It's a pretty good season for them, but that's still. The West just speaks to the depth of the West. They were still the 8th seed.
Yeah, and then on top of them, you got the Lakers, who had were in that 7th seed. Yeah. And of course, we kind of got into what they have done or what they have not done. You could make the argument that those 3 teams have either regressed or at best stand pat or standing pat or are right where they were last year. I think the Warriors have definitely gotten better than those 3 teams just right off the bat. Then you
7th seed, excuse me, for the Pelicans. I think I said 8th, 7th.
Oh yeah, well, sorry, I'm looking at the end of the year standings, and they readjust the standings based off the play-in results.
Correct.
So since the Lakers won the play-in, and then the Pelicans beat the Kings, the Lakers, even though they were the 8th seed, get bumped up to the 7th seed. Even though the Pelicans were the 7th seed, they get demoted to the 8th seed. NBA logic.
It's all
NBA
jumbled.
Logic.
The box scores for those games aren't even like attributed to either the playoffs or the regular season. It's its own island.
But it impacts the end of the year stand.
Yes.
That's actually kind of weird. Like, why would it impact the end of the stand? Whatever. I'm not gonna. There's so many things with the NBA that don't make sense. It's just like, oh, it's NBA logic. Whatever. Let's just roll.
We love that play-in tournament though, baby.
And then right above it, though, right above them all, is the Suns in that 6th seed, also 49-33. They had that tiebreaker over the Pelicans. Mm-hmm. They're just an old team right now. And this feels like this could be their last dance, so to speak.
Well, Matt Ishbia, the new owner, really wants to double down on KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. That's the moves that he made.
I think you got a year of that core right there. I think your best chance, if you're the Suns, is this year.
Exactly.
And I'm not feeling very good about their chances. So the Suns, they're probably, if I would say, kind of holding, firm where they're at right now. So yeah, if the Warriors have improved, they have improved. They are better than last year, but I think a big part of their improvement comes from the fact that their biggest competitors around them have regressed to allow them to kind of pass them even more.
Fair enough. 888-957-9570. After all these moves, where are you ranking the Golden State Warriors in the West right now? And their moves still need to be done. Will they be done? Well, we'll see. We'll keep you live and local here up till 4 o'clock. So if any news breaks pertaining to the Golden State Warriors, you will hear it here on 95.7 The Game. Of course, your home for the Golden State Warriors. So, man, I'm looking at it right now. And as it stands, I still think they are a play-in team. But that doesn't speak to just the Warriors. I still think the West is just so damn loaded. If they were in East right now, they'd be a play-off team lock for me. I truly believe they'd be a playoff lock because of Stephen Curry. I still feel so damn highly about his skill set. Even though Steph, I know we don't like to say it, he took a step back last year. It might have been a little like a little moonwalk, Michael Jackson, like a little pivot
after
back.
the All-Star break. There was something,
but he was also shouldering a heavy load mentally and physically. I mean, the guy was crying on court, crying is strong.
I think he's starting
Tears were in his eyes when Draymond got ejected.
Realize, I think, just kind of where things are at with this organization. But I'm curious. I'm gonna throw this thought exercise back to you. You're saying the Warriors are still the play-in team right now, based on everything they've done so far. I don't disagree with you, but I'm curious. What are the 6 teams in the West that are going to force the Warriors into the playoffs, into the play-in tournament?
Easy. I'll go Thunder. I'll go Nuggets. I'll go Timberwolves. I'll go Mavericks. I will go...
This is where I think it gets interesting.
I will go Suns still, because the Suns actually ended the season pretty well. I think they were 7-3 in their last 10. I'm going Phoenix there because of the continuity, and I still think... I'm going to put the Kings had a lot of injuries last year. I know this is going to sound crazy. I think the Kings right now are sneaky. Yes, I do think the Malik Monk injury hurt them a lot last year. He was playing tremendously. I think some sort of combination of Kings, Lakers, and then Clippers might still be slightly ahead of the Warriors, but the Warriors can sneak in there. I think they're a fringe play-in playoff team, if that makes sense there too. So
I agree with your top 4 there. Thunder, Nuggets, T-Wolves, Mavs. I think that's going to be in some sort of order. That will be your top 4. I'm not saying that will be the order that those 4 teams will create the top 4. I'm not gonna go the Kings though. I'm gonna say the Grizzlies. I am sleeping on them a lot. Sleeping on them.
I need to see a lot from Ja though. He hasn't played a lot. He's been a knucklehead off the court. Like, I get it, the Marcus Smart acquisition. I have to see it.
The pieces are there for the Grizzlies. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. We've seen how good they
Jarrett
can
Jackson
be.
Jr., yeah.
I love JJJ. He's an incredibly dynamic player. Just such a large man, too. I remember after Game 6.
Physical specimen.
Quick story. After Game 6 a couple years ago when Looney went off and helped eliminate the Grizzlies in that incredible playoff series, I didn't have credential access to go to the Warriors presser. But I was able to do the Grizzlies post-game presser, so I sat there, and sitting next to me is Jaren Jackson Jr., and that's one of those ones you sit down and you're just like, oh, wow. Like, just an incredibly ginormous...
Yes.
NBA players are big, dude. To begin with. Him is just like, oh, you are just like, he is quite a sight to behold.
I had that moment with Giannis when I saw him up close and personal when he was at Chase Center and also at formerly Staples Center in Los Angeles. Just watching his his shot routine before the game,
the presence,
just incredible. Like, just the size and the strength of people like that. It's incredible. I liken it to defensive or even offensive linemen in the NFL. Like, how are you 315 pounds, but you could run a sub 540? It's like frightening. I think offensive linemen in general are the freakiest of athletes.
Well, it's all the footwork with them too.
It's incredible.
That's why, like, Dancing with the Stars, like, whenever you see like those linemen go on Dancing with the Stars, they always would get top 4 because dancing is footwork. What are they great at? Footwork.
And defensive linemen, same thing. Yeah, same. It's just incredible.
Receivers too. So anyway, I think the Grizzlies get into that top 6, and then I kind of like the Suns there. I think even in their advanced age, it's still a team that, I'm saying that they're old. Really, KD's the only old one there. Bradley Beal is up there, but Devin Booker's still
a lot of injuries though for Beal last year. That's the thing. Yeah,
but Booker, he's still on the young side there. But the Suns, I think, they're in that 5-6 range there too. They'll be battling with the Grizzlies to keep out of there. You're playing teams right now. I do like Kings, Warriors, Rockets, Pelicans. That's probably your favorites. Lakers are going to be hovering around there too. That's how I would break it down. But I think we're in lockstep on the top 4 in the West right now.
There you go. 888-957-9570. Where are you slating the Golden State Warriors in this Western Conference right now? Man, Lubman is cooking from the 510. Lubman is cooking with hot grease, baby.
I was cooking on the grill yesterday too.
What were you making?
Oh, actually, you know what I did was, you ever have a Juicy Lucy?
That scares me, whatever that is, but please elaborate.
Did you ever watch Man vs. Food back in the day on the Food Channel?
Yeah, with Adam Richman.
Yeah. I hope he's doing well.
I think he is. I think he's on the Cooking Channel or something like that. But that was my go-to.
The things that guy used to eat, man.
It was No Reservations, R.I.P. Anthony Bourdain. I love that. I cannot get enough of it. Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern. Still love that. And then it was Adam Richman, Man vs. Food, Travel Channel. That was all I watched. Thank you, Carter, for giving me the approval.
So, He went to Minnesota, and they do this thing out in Minnesota where, I don't know, where's the Biden minute? There it is. Hold on.
Minnesota!
That's the most energy he's ever had.
Go ahead. Yeah, he was in Michigan when he said
Don't talk about that.
But So the way that works, it's basically 2 patties with some cheese in the middle. You slap the patties together. You close the patties that way. So it's basically a burger with cheese in the middle.
So this is a double cheeseburger so far.
It's basically a double cheeseburger, but the cheese is inside the burger. So you take a big bite and then the gooey cheese comes out. It's really good. Takes a little bit longer to make because you're basically cooking 2 burgers, but we did that. Did some brats and then, keep it classic and American, some potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, very
Coors Light. Miller Lite?
A little bit. Actually, we went with the twisted teas yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So, a little bit more refreshing there.
All right.
And, there's females in attendance, so they like their twisted teas.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Hey,
so
if you're a man, you can like it. I'm not saying you can't like it if you're a dude.
Yeah, and of course,
discriminate alcohol
at the lovely Allie's place, and she has all the little mason jars and stuff.
Shout out Allie.
We're drinking out of the mason jars. Felt very southern and pleasant.
Allie is a very kind soul. I've only met her once, but you know what? I'm very big on first appearances, and you know what?
She killed it.
She passed it. It was flying color.
At the softball game.
By the way, it was at the softball game. Carter was there. Everyone was there. Basically, it's a lot of personalities.
Carter had his girl there too. She was also very nice.
Shout out. Do you know the name?
You burned me. What is her name again, Carter? I'm spacing.
Sierra.
Okay, I knew it started with a C. Carter loves his cities.
That was me.
That's a big
I put you on the spot.
End.
That's all right. Shout out Sierra if she's listening.
Shout out to you,
She's not
Sierra.
listening, is she? No, she's out. Yeah, she's checked. Exactly. But we're back with...
She treats herself. She treats her ears right.
No, it's a lot going on here in the sports world, and we're just getting all over it here. Spadoni and Lubman in for the next hour and a half.
Yeah. What did you cook up yesterday?
We just had pizza. We just ordered from.
Okay.
We have a Domino's right down the street. It's easy for the kids. It's easy. Just picked some up. Had a triple meat combo. There you go. You got the sausage. You got the pepperoni. You got the ham on there. Oh yeah,
it's the American way, right
that's right there. Come on, baby. You just got to go pizza.
If it's 4th of July, you got to make it just a classic American meal. That's why I went to Safeway, and everything I got was already basically pre-made. I didn't make anything from
I'm not mad at the pre-made potato salad. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, we got the deviled egg potato salad.
I like that.
Oh, that hit really well.
There you go.
So yeah, it was very. I felt like when you do a project last minute in school. That's basically how I felt yesterday at Safeway at 4 p.m, getting everything for dinner, and was able to do it all. So I like to prep my meal. I like to go big on my meals. I have not been doing that.
No, you're lately. A big meal prep guy. When you get here early in the morning, you have your bowl of oatmeal with all your different nuggets and ingredients in there and stuff like that. Your protein.
I like cooking too and having fun with it, especially the 4th of July. I feel like it's one of those days you can really have like a fun little cookout banquet type thing. But I just didn't have the time. So it's like, you know what? We're going to just kind of cobble everything together last second.
Not to cut you off, Sammy. Apologies. Is Bob Myers cooking? That's the question this offseason. 888-957-9570, the number. You threw out the question on our social. And by the way, we are streaming on social, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch. Just search 95.7 The Game on any of those platforms. Like and subscribe. And that's all brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union for a low rate auto loan. Apply online or just ask for First NorCal financing at the dealer. So we posed the question on our Twitter, and you can follow me on Twitter at Spadoni_Joe. Follow Sam Lubman at SLubman59. See, I see that right there. How much better are the Golden State Warriors right now? What grade would you give Mike Dunleavy? Carson Jones on Twitter, he went from a D- to a B+ within the span of 48 hours. If he signs Lowry, it will be an A+++. That's a lot of pluses. Rudy R. Reyes, not much better, if any better, okay? If they can't get another star, this is from DJ Frosty, what was the point of holding out on Clay? D- for now. So it's a mixed bag. People are all over the place how they feel about this offseason. I get it. If you thought highly of Clay, I don't think any of these moves are doing anything for you. If you didn't think highly of Klay Thompson, then you know what? You think he's doing well. I think that's where a lot of people are. It's expectations versus reality for a lot of fans right now. And the expectations for me heading into this offseason, Sam, I just didn't think a lot of options were on the table for this squad. And you know what? I think from where they were at financially, getting DeAnthony Melton, slow-mo Kyle Anderson, and Buddy Hield now, it's been tremendous offseason for them. I'm going A-.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think it's just... I'm kind of curious how many people are looking at this offseason through the lens of what went down with Klay Thompson. Like the fact that Klay did not come back. I am curious how many people are kind of holding that against the Warriors in terms of how they do grade this offseason. Because, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of fans that really, really expected Klay to be back in a Warrior jersey next year and be a Warrior for life. That was what a lot of people were kind of trying to lock in at one point. But it's just... I understand the disappointment of that not happening kind of having an impact on how you're viewing this offseason? Because it sucks. It sucks to see a legend leave. Like we've seen a lot of legends leave. It's even when you know it's coming, it still sucks. Madison Bumgarner's another one where you knew it was coming, but when it happened, it still sucked. Even though was very much a shell of his former self at the time. Clay, I still think has a lot left in the tank. So if you're looking at it through that lens, you're going to be very disappointed on this offseason. I don't know if there's any way to truly kind of make up for that loss if you are in that camp where that loss means a lot to you.
I do think also, Sam, to that point, a lot of people put their eggs in the Paul George basket early on, and they were tremendously disappointed when the Clippers are like, kick rocks, we're not doing business with you. And then it was just like, all right, where do we pivot next? Who's another name we can attract? Lowry Markkanen. All right. And I'm calling cap and all the people who are, I've watched just so much of this guy. You have not watched a second of Utah Jazz basketball. You have not watched a second.
Utah Jazz aren't even watching Utah Jazz basketball.
No one's watching that. Come on,
Unless you're Brian Windhorst, no one's watching Utah Jazz basketball.
What's going on in Utah? I love that's all-time meme still. Like, here's Draymond Green on the Draymond Green show talking about wanting Paul George badly, and the Clippers didn't want to, work with him.
There were other free agency moves, and Paul George is the biggest of the summer, and he's planning to sign a 4-year deal with the 76ers. Also a little salty about that because, as you all know, Paul George was going to come to the Warriors, and we wanted Paul George to come to the Warriors. We always talk about these organizations, what they do for their players and whatnot. For us to get Paul George, it would have taken a sign and trade. And the Clippers didn't really want to play ball, didn't really want to help him get to where he wanted to go. And so in turn, they get nothing back. And, whereas you could have gotten something back for Paul George walking, they get absolutely nothing back. So these organizations don't always be willing to play ball. And I don't think the Clippers were really willing to play ball for Paul George to get to the Warriors. I kind of understand it. I suppose you don't want him in the same division as you because you may know how that looks if he comes with us. So that didn't quite pan out for us, which would have been nice.
That's Draymond Green. Hey, he wanted Paul George. He thought they had a deal in place, but the Clippers ultimately said, no, we're not going to help that out. And you know what? We don't care if we're not going to get any pieces in any of this. We're just going to let him go. It is what it is. They were not in the business of helping out the Golden State Warriors. Hey, if you want to call it the Warrior tax, that's fine. Kind of like how we say it with the Lakers. People don't want to help out Lakers and LeBron James. People don't want to help out the Golden State Warriors. They feel some type of way about that. We'll get back onto the Warriors here after George Kontos. I wanted to pivot